Guess what? There's more than one right way to squat. It depends, though, on you and your anatomics as well as your purpose. What are you purposely trying to get towards? If you want to be a little bit more on the athlete side with regards to producing a vertical force, because that's what translates to strength on the field. So it's very common that people use the open can where they throw the hips back, chest is open, looking somewhat vertically, and it's super upright. There's no movement of the weight back and forth. Then there's another, which I call more a closed position. You take your ribs, you connect it with your hips, and you throw your hips back, and you keep that stacked. Each one has its own merit, and each one is correct. One could use it full range of motion or not full range of motion. But if you're going to use one of them not full range of motion, it would only be, in my opinion, the stacked where you bring your ribs back and hips back. You can use it on a box squat or something like that. But an Olympic lifter uses the more upright, straight, vertical squat. Why? Because they need to get under the bar and produce the most amount of vertical force to get that bar flying overhead. And that's why, in my opinion, it translates very well to sports performance. Now, some people that have a posterior pelvic tilt already, and they do that or have a weakness in their lower abs, this does not help them very well and can actually lead to lower back pain being so vertical and upright in a squat. So this becomes more important. And then throwing your hips out, because this keeps more of a stacked position in your spine. This can have more shear if you're weak here. So there are ways of going about that. If you feel like you have a little bit of that issue, you can double up a little extra on your lower ab work. So anything where you're lifting your legs to compensate for that extra open chain squat. Again, you have your own body, so you would know best what feels best for you. I squatted for a very long time, very upright like this. It eventually led me to injury, but the injury came from an imbalance. I can still squat this way now. I just noticed that because I have longer limbs, it throws my hips and knees in different positions than somebody with shorter limbs would, and it puts a little bit more stress on my lower back. How I handled it was simply by putting a little bit more emphasis on training my lower abdominals. And if you're more of a power lifter and want to lift the most amount of weight, I would strength train the other way. Your hips are naturally stronger than the quads for most people, especially if you're trying to lift the most amount of weight. You stack. This gives you the most amount of compression on your spine versus shear force, right? So good compression, stack, hips back, bang. That's going to be the most powerful squat for you. The other one's going to translate more to vertical force. That one will translate most to big weights in the gym. They both have merit. They're both important. So depending if I'm falling behind on that vertical force, I might translate that. If I'm falling behind on just overall strength, I can transfer back to hips back, abs tight squat. So give each a try and feel and find out which one feels best for you. And then maybe even in your program design, you can mix and match in order to push your squat numbers up and or your performance on the field.